As we said, we'll talk about portfolio. And what I was saying before, when I started my video, before that cut off by because of internet connection, is that we have to be very careful how we make our projects during all the period of school, because those projects might become very very useful when we have to prepare a portfolio, because we don't need just two or three very good projects, we need a lot of several projects. Therefore we do not have to snob some of the projects we make during school. And what I was saying is that when we make those projects, of course we want to make sure that we follow always the same way of making them to get the right quality. Fantastic. We got back all the people that basically before were connected. So, how do we prepare a portfolio? But the most important thing, what is a portfolio for you? And what is a portfolio for me that I am on the other side? Okay? Well, I remember when I was a student, I was thinking always I had to make a very professional portfolio. I wanted to make sure that when they see my drawings, my stuff, they're gonna say, ah, you are so good. All right, that's good. But how do we have to put those things together to make sure that people will look at our portfolio and will be completely, but completely, they will completely like it, they will remember it, they will say, I really want to talk back to this person, I really want to see it again. This happens when, number one, your portfolio reflects basically your personality, okay? Your talent, your person. And this, of course, portfolio has to be a part of us on the table, when you open it. Therefore, what does it mean? That if, for example, you are somebody that is sloppy, okay, somebody that doesn't really care too much about the quality of the work, or also the quality of the interview, he doesn't care. Say, okay, I go there, I'll talk. This will be also reflected on inside his or her portfolio, because people that are like that don't put too much attention in terms of quality, okay, to what they do. Instead, if you are someone that wants to be professional, that believes that being professional is extremely important, especially in such important interview, during such an important interview, then of course you will take care of that portfolio in the right way. And people like me on the other side or other colleagues, when they will open it up, then they will see it. They will really see it. They will see how professional you're trying to be. And of course we appreciate, that's already the first thing that put us in a very good state of mind. Say, this person is not so bad. Look how it's easy to understand what he is presenting. Another good thing is that your portfolio it doesn't need you to talk a lot. If your projects are well done and all the how can I say, the sequence of all the drawings and steps, step by step of every project is well done, then the project will talk by itself. And then I just put myself inside it. I don't care if you are presenting, or maybe I will ask some questions, okay? Just to make sure that, but I will be really concentrated in looking the evolution, the progress, and the quality and the beauty, of course, we hope, of your proposals. Now, let's go back again. Now, how do we get all that? And first of all, how do we make sure that when I come in with my portfolio, the other person in front of me is extremely satisfied with what he saw? The first question you have to ask yourself is, I have a book. I prepared my book. And tomorrow morning I go there and I open it up. Now, the other person, okay, the professional manager, I don't know, whoever is on the other side of the table, what is he really looking for? I mean, is he just looking for someone that knows how to sketch well? maybe that's not exactly the only thing that the professional person is waiting for. Then is he looking for a new creative design proposal that probably never seen? Yes, that's for sure. So priorities in terms of quality of how a portfolio should be. Design won't have projects. I'm sorry, when you write too much, I don't have the time to read. So write this after. When the video is finished, you can type comments, and as I do regularly, I will answer back to your comments. Okay? That's a promise. Okay, so the priority that a portfolio has to have in terms of characteristics, okay, or quality is its quality, okay? It's also the creativity. Come on, guys. If your creativity is not an alternative, why should I be interested? That's normal. So, creativity. The quality with which this creativity is put on paper. This means your skills. Now, if you know how to sketch well, you know how to use pencils and markers and Photoshop and whatever you want, like paint and stuff, great. Then you better do a good job, because everything is in your portfolio must be of very, very high level. So once you have those qualities, then it's gonna be a very nice battle. Because when I receive your portfolio and I start opening the first project, it's gonna strike me. I'll be very attracted by it, very curious. I really want to see it. And so I start looking at the other pages, right? Now that on the first project, you were able to take my attention on the portfolio, what's gonna happen next when you come to the second project? A lot of things can happen in this case. You can have a high or you can have a low. And I explain this with another word. Portfolio must be emotional. I want to feel emotions, positive emotions. In this case, I want to see something that is so beautiful, and when I go on to the other project, I am once again completely astonished, because the other project, it's even better than the one I saw before. This is, I show you something, okay? Just look at this, okay? Now, can you see these graphics? Okay, I did this very quickly, I'm sorry. What is important is the red line. The red, this is the start of watching a portfolio, and those blue spots are our projects, you can understand that what we want to do with our portfolio in terms of emotions and communication is to provoke a very high interest that increases during the phase I'm looking at the portfolio, from the beginning until the end. Now, this is your real objective. You want to make sure that when I see the first, then the second project, the third, until I get to the end of your portfolio, so I don't know, 10 projects, I am always going up. So I'm always in a high. Sometimes I'm gonna have some lows, of course, because not all projects gonna be super perfect. But you're gonna make the order of your projects in a way that you drive the emotions going from a high to a higher point. Okay? So this is the order or the sequence, the emotional sequence of your portfolio. That's how I call it, the emotional sequence. Because if we see first project, perfect. The second project, so-so. Okay, the next one will be better. And the next one will be worst, which means it's gonna be a real low. You will be remembered for that worst one. This means that I can see the whole book. When I close your book, I will remember only the worst one. And this is not because it's you or because the worst project was really ugly. Not for that. This is a human thing. It's in the head of everybody, every one of us. Pay attention. Often we remember somebody the little defaults, the little defect, the little bad thing. It's very hard that we go and remember of somebody or something only the good thing, the positive aspects. Very, very often, the human mind keeps in mind what is negative more than what is positive. And this is human. It's almost everybody. Well, of course, there will be someone that says, no, no, this is not for me. Okay, good for you. But I would say, ask yourself also, how many times you saw work of your classmates, and after you watch that, you remember the bad critique you made to something that was negative. You don't remember if he did a very nice sketch anyway. And the teachers, I have been teacher. What we're looking for at school on everybody's project, the first thing we look are the bad mistakes, because we are there to teach you how not to make those bad mistakes. So this is also in the head of designers, of our chief, our directors. It's normal. You go there, you think that you've done something perfect, then they come and say, yeah, but you see, there's a lot that detail, it's really shocking. That's too bad. You see, come on. 95% of the car is beautiful, and now you're driving the attention on that 5%. It is exactly what happens. And your portfolio will be the same thing. It will suffer of the same treatment. This is the reason why I say that the emotional sequence of your portfolio must be managed by you. And to do that, you must be very critical with yourself. How is my project? Is it really, really good? In my project, there is a one design or one sketch which is ugly. I like it, but it's not so good in terms of quality. Take it off. That one, you take it out. You don't want to have, for every project, some little things that can originate some really negative feedbacks. Because those feedbacks that are negative will be stamped in the mind of everybody will be looking. And that means you are out. Okay, so once we said that, you understand that you must do something very important at home. It's gonna take hours, some days, because it's a responsibility. You have all your projects. You have to review all your projects. You have to see if between all your projects there is a big difference in quality. Because if there is a big difference in quality, you cannot provoke this. You will provoke the zig and zag, up and down, which are going to be too strong. And that's not good. Because we risk to enter into the negative part of our mind. And we don't want to get in there. So, you look at your project. And then you have to do something to make sure that you can help one project compared to another, to make sure that its level, it's brought up. Basically, maybe you have to redo some sketches. Or maybe you have to redo some renderings. Or an illustration that has a little black spot, which is a mistake. I'm sorry, you retrace it, you redo it. You don't want that default. Don't forget that your portfolio it can do two things to you. Can push you to the stars or can burn you. Because we remember people and portfolios, no? So if you try again with a portfolio that was negative, and you try again with me after 3 months, it's very hard. I'm gonna say, 3 months, this guy, now it's gonna have a fantastic portfolio. Of course, what I think, it was bad before, it's gonna be bad now too. So automatically, the portfolio can do two things: can burn you or can push you to the stars. Now, of course, we are interested to the stars because we want to do good things. So quality and quality level in terms of skills, creativity. If you have a beautiful project, which is a restyling, sorry, because I still see those, it's just a restyling, a facelift, but the design and the rendering are perfect. And then you have another project which is very creative, I don't know, like a concept car. The restyling, it's gonna kill your portfolio. Yeah, you're gonna say, yeah, no, Luciano, but what are you talking about? Because I have such a beautiful rendering, and then with those sketches, I can show that I know how sections are made for something that must be believable. My answer is, who cares? We are, of course, more interested in what is more creative. Besides, it's not in school that you're gonna learn how things are put together. You learn this on the work, being at work. So, this is the reason why I always tell people, push your creativity, the limits of your creativity. We want to see that. And to see that means not to think of a facelift or, okay, if there is an exercise in school where the teacher is asking to do an exercise like that, of course you have to do it. I understand. But don't put that in your portfolio. Learn from that one to transfer that know-how on a more creative project. Okay? Now, there is another aspect which is very important in terms of quality of portfolio, is that, as we said, yeah, we have to do the quality, we have to redo some stuff to make sure that there is not a big difference between each project. This is great. And we want also that quality, creativity and skills, it's the highest possible according to our possibilities. So we said we must be very critical. And if something that we see in each portfolio, in each project, it doesn't look correct, take that out. Because you will remember for the mistake and not for the good things. So be humble and just say, this thing is not good, it's not at the same level like the others. Yes, I have to take it out. And if you want to have the same number of sketches, redo the sketch. Redo it so that it comes out better than before. And therefore you will, and I know this is work, I know. But what the heck, it's your portfolio. It's to change your life. So if you don't give everything you can, plus 100% extra, when do you want to do it? When you're old? Or when it's going to be too late? So, in the management of your portfolio, you have to consider also the variety. Variety is very important. Because you cannot imagine that you only have exterior design projects or interior design projects. You must have also maybe some products. Especially if you have a very interesting idea that could be a pattern design. Or if you think that there is a new device that you can, that you can invent and you want to talk about it, that would be nice. You should also add, if you do some product design, few technical, layouts. Maybe with a little bit of color, just to make it a little bit artistic, which it's always nice to see. But in that way, you can transfer the idea that you did a product, but you know how. You know that there is a certain type of credibility in that project that I have to feel, even if it's not really 100%. But what is important for me on every project, but especially in those product design, is how you think with your head. Where do you start and where do you land? You know? And that's very important. And sometimes those technical layouts with some sections will show that you thought a product, but you really went into a deeper reasonement, okay, during your creative project. And that's very, very interesting. That's very, very good. Then, in the variety of your portfolio, I would say that if you, for example, like to do paint, okay, if you like to do paint, like the one like in the back, like this one, okay, with acrylics, oil painting, or digital paint with Photoshop, with those brush, digital brush and stuff. Maybe you want to put few of your illustrations, your paintings. Maybe you have some watercolors. Those are nice. This stuff is appreciated because it shows that you are not just narrow minded on one subject, but that you are open. You have an artistic mind and you master different medias and you do it with passion. So this, how can I say, shows that you have heart and love for this profession and that you really like and you really enjoy to do it. And this is very positive for us because, of course, we have to understand how you are in terms of human being. How can I put you in a team? Are you going to agree with people or are you going to be someone that creates problems in a team? You see, hey, ciao. So, you see, this is important. And sometimes a portfolio showing all that stuff shows also a lot more about your personality, education, passion, customs, capacity of engaging, your engagement level, which means a sense of responsibility. So a portfolio tells a lot of things. And of course, when there is the portfolio and you are opening up and talking about your project, there is the oral part, which is very, very important. Okay? I show my design in YouTube. Okay, good. Because, you know, if you present something and then you talk about this something, you want to make sure that the two parts are very cohesive. Because the two are not cohesive, something is wrong. So, it's very important that you prepare a little bit of speech or message for each project to make sure that you can frame the most important things. And now I'm going to make a very quick schematic sketch to show, no? Okay, are you ready? I'm going to show you. Okay, so we have 4 blocks here. All right? And this is a layout for every project. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now, the number 1, it's the title. You have a project, I don't know, the Chevrolet Impala 2050, Back to the Future, I don't know, whatever. The title of your project. Then it comes the introduction, which is number 2. Then you have a little bit of explanation, not too much, a little bit, to get a little bit deeper in your talking about your project. And then you have the conclusion. Now, wait, I'm going to show you something else. Are you ready? Check this out. The conclusion is the same message of your introduction. And this is very simple, the reason. It's because it makes your message stronger at the end of your speech, exactly about the most important message of your speech, which is the introduction. The content here in the middle can be interesting or not, it's not so fundamental because generally when we talk, people here get bored. But people are very awake at the beginning and they are very awake at the end. And this is the reason why usually we take a part of the introduction and we put it back into the conclusion. So just to give you an example, I can say, the apple, and that's my title. The apple is a very good green fruit. That's my introduction. And then I can start saying, like every fruit, the apple has fructose, which is very good for the health. It's white inside, can be of several colors. The skin can be of several colors, like green, red, yellow, and there are many, many different types of apples in the world, in nature. But you see, I'm talking now about all details, and some of you already starting to get lost, I know. And then I go to the conclusion. Therefore, I want to finish this small info about the apple, which is green, saying that it's an excellent fruit for your health. You know, something like that. And over there at the end, the people are awake again. That's how you use your words. And when you do this and prepare this for every project, you don't have to make it long. You have to make it short. Every project you want to talk about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And there is another thing very important when you are at the oral, part, talking about your project. You have to try to understand the person that is looking at your portfolio, how the person is reacting. Because if he doesn't talk at all, it's a little bit complicated because it's just leaving you psychologically, it's leaving you alone. Then in that case, you can show a little bit of, how can I say, courage. Then you decide to talk. Very gently, very kindly, very politely, but you start. So you give a frame to that relation. You understand? You take the game in your hands. And then you see how the person reacts. In some other cases, people are very, very nice. They ask questions. Then you, instead of talking a lot about your project, you answer to their questions, which is better. Because when they ask the questions, you don't have the responsibility to talk and say something that might hurt you. Answering to questions is always easier. Okay? Okay, so, as we said, this portfolio lecture was to make sure that you understand the reason why you prepare a portfolio, how a portfolio is prepared, okay? What are the ingredients of a portfolio? Don't forget the emotional, okay? The emotional sequence, this one, okay? This one. The objective to start here and finish higher, okay? And don't forget that you want to be very, very picky with yourself, very demanding, to make sure that you take off all the mistakes, even if they are very, very small. When a portfolio starts badly, there are I saw people do this. Because if the first one is bad, I don't waste my time on the last one. So I go fast. That's why it's important how you organize, okay? And then the oral part, to make sure that when you talk, everything is very cohesive and fast and quick. So you have 3 operations to do: projects, the oral part, and the switching time of your slides to make sure that it's quite fast enough that gives the opportunity to see, but also to move on according to the time left. And remember that the person that is there with you, he always has the right to say, stop, can you go back? I would like to see again your slide. And that can always happen. And many times it happens. Okay? All right. Hey guys, so don't forget, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, Same time here, we will talk about something else. Very, very interesting. Ciao, have a good evening. That means first email is last impact. Yes, also. As I said, we start here, we want to finish up here in terms of emotion. So your project must be good. Ciao, share the video. See you next. Ciao.